Lovelies, my name is Briamani. If you're new here, I would like to welcome you to my channel. If you're a returning visitor, I would like to say welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed today's topic and today's video. If you are not subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Join the Briamani family. I promise you won't be disappointed in the content that I post. And also like this video, give it a thumbs up, and share this video with someone that you think can benefit from it. So if you have watched one of my previous videos, I mentioned that I would make a video on the art of femininity, and that is what today's video will be about. Femininity is truly an art form. It's a craft. It's a skill set that you have to master. Femininity is also a journey, a daily decision, and a challenge. In order to master the art of femininity, you must work hard and daily, consistently, to perfect that craft. So, what is femininity? Femininity is defined as the quality or nature of the female sex. Some qualities and characteristics, at least traditional characteristics of feminine energy and femininity, are nurturing, gentleness, humble, kind, compassion, caring, open, tender, soft, cooperativeness, affectionate, helpful, and warmth. Just note that none of these words included shy, timid, weak, spineless, okay? Femininity and being a feminine woman has nothing to do with a woman being weak or being less than. It's literally the God-given essence that was placed and birthed into us that we are supposed to embrace as a woman, that helps us reach our purpose, our potential, and it helps us fulfill our life's mission. Just because you are learning to adapt these new characteristics and learning to be less rigid, less guarded, less hard, doesn't mean that you'll be a pushover. So you may be asking me, well, how do I embrace this feminine energy and how do I perfect this art form? And the answer to that is I'll give you 4 things and a little bit more. But most importantly, you are to be open-minded, be mindful, be consistent, and be accepting to change. In order to perfect a craft such as playing a sport or learning how to play an instrument, you must first have a positive perspective. You have to believe that you can achieve the pursuit and the thing that you want. You also have to be more mindful. You have to show up to the practices, the games, the lessons, and you also have to practice how you would play. So I love figure skating, and I don't know if you guys know the world famous figure skater Christy Yamaguchi. Christy Yamaguchi is a figure skater who is an Olympic champion, a 2-time world champion, and a US champion. But Christy Yamaguchi did not just one day get on the ice and was naturally a pro. No, it took time, it took hard work, it took consistency, it took patience, it took practice to become the champion that she is. And so, right, she had to perfect the art and the craft and the skill of figure skating. And so we must do the same as women, right? Even though that feminine energy naturally lives within inside of us, we have to perfect that craft. It's going to be a daily walk. Sorry about the planes. But it's going to be a daily walk and a daily lifestyle change that you have to consciously make in your mind, which means you have to be open-minded, because you may listen to things that you may not agree with, but that's when open-mindedness comes in and the willingness to change, to become more and to embrace that feminine lifestyle. So what exactly is the art of femininity? It's embracing your natural role as a woman. It truly is an art form because it's supposed to be a natural reflection of who you are as a woman. So you need to ask yourself, when people approach you or even when people look at you, are you inviting? Are you gentle, patient, compassionate? If you don't possess these qualities, then you're not truly tapping into your true feminine form. The art of femininity is an essence that you carry and possess with you wherever you go. On my channel, I will express time and time again that appearance is not everything. Many people play dress up as a feminine woman, but then are shortly exposed as a fraudulent feminine woman because their characteristics are stating otherwise. Instead of being helpful, instead of being sensitive, instead of being open and inviting, they're guarded, they're rigid, they're hard, they're really dominant, they're really aggressive and assertive. Not saying that you can't be aggressive and assertive, because in order for sometimes your career, right, if you're in the corporate world, all my corporate women, my boss babes, you have to have some type of leadership and dominant characteristics, right? But that's tapping more into the masculine side. And as women, we have both masculine traits and feminine traits, which I also do plan on making a video on that as well to explain the differences between the two. But when you're going into that dominant, aggressive, assertive territory, you're tapping into the masculine energy, which is not a bad thing. But if that's all you have, if you have no inkling of kindness, if you have no inkling of understanding or compassion, then you possess no feminine energy and you lack feminine energy. So what I'm saying is, along with the dainty appearance, you must also possess a dainty attitude and personality. So start by being more polite. My mom always calls it common courtesies, right? So your please, your thank you, excuse, or pardon me, those go a long way, and that helps you tap into your femininity, and that helps you embrace and perfect the art craft of femininity. If someone gives you a compliment, thank you. A thank you can go a long way. If someone is gracious to do something for you, say thank you. Don't just take, let people know that you are grateful. Express that gratitude. If you're trying to get by someone, say excuse me or pardon me. Don't just squeeze your way through. This will help you tap into your feminine energy and again start embracing and actually making it an art form. But in order to be an art form, you have to do this consistently and you have to practice this daily until it becomes a part of you. So when people look at me, for instance, they are going to say, oh, wow, she's a feminine woman. There's something unique about me because why? I've tapped into that feminine energy and that energy naturally radiates through me. Another way to perfect the art form of femininity is to heal. Healing is key. That means heal from your traumas, your childhood traumas, relationship traumas, personal life traumas, hardships. All those things affect us as people, but it really affects us as women, okay? When you experience trauma and you haven't healed from it, depending on what the trauma is, like sexual abuse, childhood abuse, just mistreatment of any type, that can naturally make you more guarded. And again, guarded and putting a wall up are masculine traits. So when you haven't healed properly, you're not going to be able to radiate that energy that you should be radiating as a woman. Like, answer this: how can you be inviting if you don't have the emotional capacity or emotional stability to do so? So I'll be a little bit transparent. Growing up, I didn't have the best relationship with my father. I didn't get to know my father until I was about 14 years old. And in the beginning, our relationship was very rocky, patchy, just because for me, it's like, who is this stranger, right? And I didn't realize that those father issues did carry over into my personal life. And thankfully, I did have an older brother to kind of gauge and teach me things, but at the same time, I didn't really fully trust men. And I had to heal and repair the relationship with my father. Now, me and my father are very close. And in turn, I realized that I can't trust men. And so if I didn't heal, it's like, who knows what type of damage that I would do to myself, that I could do to others. And it's just like, you have to do some self-reflection and you have to heal. I also, growing up, didn't know how to effectively communicate my problems or my concerns. So I suppressed a lot of my feelings, a lot of my thoughts, a lot of my emotions. And I had to again heal, do some self-reflection within myself to know how to communicate properly, to know how to express my concerns. So I'm just saying this because I totally get it. It's hard. It's a process. And sometimes you may not be able to always talk to the person or go back to the situation that hurt you, But it is important to forgive. It's also important to be able to talk to others about it. And it's important, if you need to, seek the professional help that you need. When you heal, you are more self-aware. In other words, you don't have to be so guarded because now you know what situations to avoid. You know your triggers. Also, you can smile more when you've healed. And you want to know why? It's because your past doesn't define you. Know that your future is bright. Know that your heart won't be so heavy. When you have like less burdens, it's just like, right? Have you ever had one of those moments where you're just like, whoo, just a big sigh of relief? That's what it is like when you've healed and you understand gratitude. You're more thankful and grateful that you're not in the past, that you're moving ahead, and that you're making strides to become a better person and a better version of you. Okay, so I know that was a lot to dissect and to digest and to maneuver through, but another key to gaining and perfecting the art of femininity is to become observant. Feminine women understand the wisdom of situational awareness. It's actually more wise to watch and listen, because when you listen to someone, you can learn a lot just by what people say. I've always said you can gauge a person's mindset within 3 conversations. And you might be like, really? Yes. Within 3 conversations, you can tell where a person's train of thought is, what their passions are, what do they like to talk about. If what they're talking about doesn't sit well with you, if what they're talking about doesn't bring you closer to tapping into your feminine energy, then right, you should be moving yourself away from that person. Also, actions speak louder than words, and people's behaviors can give you insight on whether you should be distancing yourself from them or drawing closer to them. Just know that you don't always have to speak to seem socially intelligent. Again, watching and listening helps you become more in tune with your feminine energy because you are more socially aware. It's a silent strength. So, my last tip or key in order to perfect the art of femininity and tapping into the art of femininity is to pamper and spoil yourself. I will preach this 1,000 times. Make sure you are taking care of yourself, not only emotionally, not only spiritually, mentally, but also physically. Indulge in self-care. And if you don't know how to do self-care, or maybe you're trying to start a self-care journey, I'm actually going to be posting a video on that soon, like how to start your self-care journey, because it's so important. You have to take care of you first. Just think of it. If you are a cup and you have nothing in that cup, you're empty. So how can I take you as a cup and try to drink and get something from the cup with nothing in it to nourish me? I can't. It's physically impossible. So what I'm saying is, you can't give, which is also a feminine component and attribute, if you don't have anything to give. So replenish yourself. Read more. Expand your mindset. Tap into and open up your knowledge to different subjects, topics, issues, so you don't become ignorant to these things. It's so important and it's so valuable. And honestly, this is like the key component to the art of femininity, probably the most important component, because again, if you're not recharged, if you're not replenished, how are you going to continue the journey? You're going to be tired. You're going to be restless. And think about it. When you're tired, it also affects your behaviors. You become more cranky, more irritable. And again, that's not embracing those characteristics. Let's go back, right? What is femininity? What are those traits? Gentleness, humble, kind, compassionate, understanding, affectionate, giving, caring, nurturing. If you're not taking care of you, how can you give those things? If you don't possess those qualities, then you're not tapping into the art of femininity. And again, what makes it an art is the consistency behind it, because you're perfecting your craft. Again, this is like basically an essence of you. Femininity lives in every single woman, that energy, but it is up to us to open it, unlock it, and let it radiate out into the world. I like the quote, "One is not born, but rather becomes a woman." And I like this quote because, yes, even though we are born female, it takes more to become a woman and to really tap into that feminine energy and radiate it. So you have to practice, you have to gain the knowledge, you have to put it in play in order to possess the qualities that women are supposed to naturally possess. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, lovelies.